I'm Giaya Ariati. I am of sound heart and sound mind. This is a bit of an uncomfortable wake-up call. This is a message around how we use our human and our narrative to justify us not choosing. We use our human and our justification of our experience to rationalize where we cannot keep up, where we don't make uncomfortable choices, where we simply just don't choose God or the highest plan. So this is going to be a bit of a truth slap and a very uncomfortable aspect of what is taking place collectively in the bringers of change. The bringers of change being that of a collective set of souls that are encompassed and are from the star seeds, the angelics, from the galaxy, from those of the beings that have traveled far and wide to be here as the assistance of humanity evolving through the tipping point of consciousness into the new earth structures. We have come through a point of time where there are new roles, but they are not, let's just say there are backups. So although the roles have been solidified, just like a play, there's an understudy. So if you decide at any point in this time that you're like, actually, this is too hard, I know I chose, but I'm going to unchoose for a while, what happens is your understudy actually gets to play in the play. That's the best way I can explain it at the moment, is that we are already in the play. So if you're sick and you don't show up on the day, that role goes to your understudy. Now, this is choice points that are taking place. There is a collective choice point that's been moving through over the last 3 days and moves into the next week. This is a choice point that is basically saying, where are you using your human justification, your narrative, your story, your identity to deny where your devotion to God, to your collective mission, and to your purpose is not being met? Now, this is confronting, this is uncomfortable, this is icky, because what we tend to do as human beings is point the finger at other people. They're not meeting me. They're not choosing. They're making it challenging. If this wasn't happening, then I would be able to do it. If I was able to have this education, if I got this much sleep, if I had more money, these stories are stories. That's it. They do not justify you choosing God or not choosing God. It doesn't matter what story you have. If that story is justifying you in this moment, you will be meeting a very harsh reality because the plan has been solidified. There is no rearranging of roles. You're either on that plan, moving forward and playing out the play, or you're sick and you are back home doing your own thing. It is as simple as that. And it kind of is harsh. The harshness is that some choices have consequences that cannot be undone. And right now, the choices that are moving through your life experience are those choices. So are you really choosing the new earth or the old earth? And I'm asking you this in truth, because I see many people say, I'm here for the new earth. And I'm like, you're fucking lying to yourself. I know, because I've lied to myself so many times. I've lied to myself and I've had to sit in the discomfort of, oh my God, oh, yuck, ugh. We have to be real and raw and honest with ourselves, because you can't meet God in devotion as a liar. And we have such a sting around that word. Do you know how many times I've called myself a liar? Not to shame myself, not to wrong myself, but just to be so simply truthful with myself that I'm either telling the truth as a truth seeker, or I'm telling a story and I'm lying. The sting around being a liar is totally up to you. However you perceive words is totally up to you. I could use any language in the dictionary, and it's either going to gift you a sense of connection or it's going to trigger you, depending on the narrative that you already have about it. So if you have a narrative around these words, yeah, it's going to activate you. Yeah, it's going to make you uncomfortable. So as you sit with this, are you choosing new earth or are you choosing old earth? What is your body telling you? Have you actually decided that you are moving forward as a new earth leader? Now, I've witnessed those that don't even recognize they're choosing it. And they're all in. Why? What is the difference? They've actually decided that they're going to put everyone else's stuff and everyone else's judgments, everyone else's projections, everything else that they need or think they need behind to follow the path of what they're being guided. It doesn't matter if you're at this level of evolution or this level of evolution. If you're following your intuitive guidance, you're following the journey of your soul, you're choosing something without the rationality and the justification of a story of, oh, I have kids, I shouldn't do that. Well, if I leave my job, then I won't be supported. All of these are things that are going to prevent you. I need to have X, Y, and Z before I can follow God. Really? Is that true? That's how the human mind works. I need to have A to B to C to D in alignment to get to God. God doesn't work like that. God is all-encompassing, as is here now in all ways. Your guidance may be to stop outside of a supermarket and get on YouTube and share about a choice point opportunity, because this is the guidance that is being brought through me, being brought to share as the activator. That is one of my roles. I wholeheartedly choose it. I choose it with the knowing that I activate myself, and that's what's allowed me to accelerate in such a profound way. So this is an activation. Sit here. When I ask you, are you choosing new earth or are you still choosing old earth? What do you know? What do you know? And what wants to justify as soon as you see it? If you're still in old earth, what is your justification? I'm about to choose it. I am lining things up. I'm clearing. I'm working through the blocks so I can choose it. I'm working on the aspects of my beliefs, or maybe I'm energetically going to do some breath work on the weekend to ensure that I meet that part of me so I can choose it. That is not choosing. That is saying, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D, and then I'll choose. For you to choose new earth now, for you to truly choose it, you choose it now. Not just from here. You have to choose it from every cell of your being, from every aspect of your structure, your spirit. And that means I give no fucks about anything else, because I will choose God. I will follow God's path. And when I do that, I am loving. I am kind. I am compassionate. I will receive the messages and know thyself. That even if my human comprehension cannot see, God will show me a way to see. God is all-seeing. And so this is where there is a shift in your perspective of what you can move through. You can move through this with conscious choice. To say, yeah, okay, at the moment I'm actually not choosing new earth. Do you really want to? Or is it your truth to stay in old earth? It's okay to do that too. It's okay to not be ready. It's okay to want to hold on to your identity. It's okay to want to keep your belief systems, your safety structures, your trauma. It is okay to want to be in a place of controlling your reality. It's okay to want to go slower. It's okay to say to yourself, I am unable to choose what I feel or think is the best for me right now, and I'm choosing something different. By allowing yourself to choose, that is sovereignty. Who said that old earth is going to be a poisonous, horrible, destructive experience? Not true. Anywhere we go will have all polarities, positive and negative. If you end up in old earth land and you end up in an old earth location, does that mean you can't live a life of peace and alignment? Absolutely not. You are the creator of your experience. So if it's not your time to step out of the matrix program and the paradigm and create something that is aligned with the new earth structures now, and you need to continue this paradigm for your own growth, for your own integrity, for your own trust, for your own faith, choose it knowing how you choose it. I had an initiate ask around choice. And do we really have choice? Now, when this landed for me, through guidance, through source, what I was shown is, no, you don't have choice. You have choice of how you choose to respond to the point of not having choice. Because ultimately, source has an aspect of being able to choose for you. So that even when you choose, you're not choosing, source is choosing. You either choose to align yourself to source or you choose to align yourself to separation. You either choose to align yourself to creation or you choose to align yourself to destruction. There's no in between. It's connection, separation. It doesn't matter if it's this much or if it's this much, because it will still expand and generate to the same amount. So what is it that is your truth now? If you could choose your choice point, regardless of rationale, without knowing how, without knowing what it looks like, are you willing to make source, new earth, God, purpose, your mission, your number one directive over all other things? Is it your total truth to do this? It's okay if it's not. And so as you move through these choice points, it's time to get out of the denial of the mind and start to hear where you tell the story. Anytime you go into emotion and you start justifying your emotion instead of feeling it and letting it guide you to the core truth of what's going on, acknowledge that you are in the story. You are bypassing through emotional self-manipulation the truth. Anytime that you're disassociating, go into the truth of you are avoiding it. That's empowerment. Actually, I'm choosing distraction. Early on in my journey, do you know how many times I consciously chose to distract? Now that's paradoxical, right? But I did. I was like, I don't want to do this. This is hard work. I don't want to do this. And so what I would do is it would be hard. And I could see that I was at my capacity. I could see that I wasn't ready to choose in that moment. I could see I needed to prove something to myself. I could see that I needed to experience through human experiential contrast. And so I would do things very intentionally to see what would happen. Now, over time, I realized that distracting myself from my mission, distracting myself from God, distracting myself from true love, source love, God's love, does not bring me ease, joy, love, grace. It just brings me further pain. And so through data collection of consciously distracting, watching what would happen, and allowing myself to see, actually, even if it's hard to lean in, even if it's hard to surrender, even if it's hard to move in that direction of transformation, I still can choose. I still can choose to let go. Let go of the hardness of it. That, yeah, it is hard, but it's also actually way easier. It might be hard at first because I cannot control. But if I trust in the aligned divine plan, if I trust in my source connection, if I trust where I'm going, then there is nothing that is going to take me off my path. Because God desires for you to have what your sacred heart's truth is. God only wants you to have everything you've ever wanted. It's only you that creates the pain. It's only you that creates the contrast. It's only you that needs to learn the lessons. If you chose God, you wouldn't need to learn the lessons. You'd already know them. New Earth is built on a sense of trust in something we cannot see. Trust is not seeing New Earth. We don't know what that looks like. We have to leap and have faith. We have to step out of the old earth energy. We have to step out of the old identity. We may have to leave our family. We may have to leave our animals. We may have to leave our job, our security, our house, our cars. Those things have nothing for you in New Earth. Those things have nothing. They will not serve you. So in this moment, closing your eyes down, also so you can't hear, see, or read the comments that may be distracting. Thankfully, I've come to be a very clear conduit, and I can receive, despite all of the comments, the influences no longer influence. But I know that it may be a little difficult for some of those that are watching this live. So let's close our eyes and breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And asking yourself, what is it that my sacred heart's truth is? Now, your heart is between your chest bones. Your sacred heart is your source heart channel. It is your source heart chakra. It is up from your chest. It sits up higher where you want to place your hand between your heart and your throat. I want you to tune into that energy. I want you to tune into your sacred heart, your source channel, your God connection, and ask the truth for you. No story, no justification, no expectation. All contracts, oaths, vows, and agreements abolished and demolished. Mayandeya koria kiarianai. Eshkereya sutukoria kiaria tutukoria kiana. Ishkareya sutukoriandeanai. Eskereata de didae kiana. To close off all distractions, place yourself in an unconditional bubble of protection, allowing Archangel Michael to support and secure you so that no outside influences on this call or anywhere in your experience can affect you. That you come into your knowing, you come into your sacred heart, and you choose here. What is my sacred heart's truth? What do I need to commit to and choose right here, right now? And saying it out loud, I declare to choose through sovereign free will and choice. What is it that you declare to choose through sovereign free will and choice? What is it that you need to allow yourself the commitment to your sacred heart's truth? No story about spirituality, no story about old earth, new earth, no story about your parents, no story about your family, no story, justification, or attachment around anything. Just what your sacred heart wants to choose here now in sovereignty. What is this? And choosing this now, saying it out loud. And when you finish speaking this out loud, finishing it with an aho, amen, and so it is. Whatever that is, and allowing it to be chosen, allowing it to be fully here. Now, in your sacred truth, trust that whatever came through for you, whatever it was that you became aware of, not to go back on this. No matter what the story, no matter what the other peoples have to say to you, no matter what your justification may be at times when it feels hard, this is your sacred heart's truth. Stay committed to that. Know that that path will lead you to your highest good, even if it doesn't appear or look like that right now. It may look very different to what you think is your sacred heart's truth. Now, I want to apologize to my beautiful, beloved, sacred sisters and brothers and divine family. I did not protect this call before I jumped on live. I did not do my traditional coding, and I am out in a public space. So therefore, you can see by the comments in this live, in comparison to all of my other information channels, that there has been some nice influences. This is where you need to be aware. I am safe and protected in myself, but sometimes I still forget that I need to keep you guys safe and protected because I'm out in a place that is not holding that. And I am responsible for this container right here, right now. And so in this moment, we are going to ensure that any parasites, any vampirism, any entities, any energies, and any demonic expressions that have been activated through this is cleansed, cleared, and purified. Any toxicity, reptilian energy, any aspects of draconian influence, any inversions that have been activated within your sacral chakra, releasing it, letting it go, big breath in. Anywhere that there is an agenda at play, revoking, renouncing, resounding any consents, consciously or unconsciously given, revoking, renouncing, resounding, rescinding anywhere that you have given up your free will and choice to any demonic activity, satanic activity, or the 7 deadly sins through unconsciousness and vulnerability. Nishkarata asatai, nishka ata, eskeri ataya u kuriandeanai, eskeri anai, askaraya shoto kuriandeanai, iskaraya tu kuriande, maskaraya noshkariandeanai akiana, eskeria setekiandeana, Ushkaria saria tukuriandianai. Eskeriandianai ukuriandinai. Eanai. Now, de setea tia tianai. Where there is never ever an accident, right? This was not an accident. I didn't forget this on purpose. I mean, by accident. It was very intentionally guided by Source. Why? Learning, initiations. If you are open and vulnerable, and there's someone trolling you, and they've got entities, demonic energies, and they are projecting their frequencies in psychic attack to you, this is going to cause you to have a response in your physical body. I'm perfectly fine, but you guys require a little bit more cleansing. So moving through, and I'm going to ask you to feel where in your physical body is activated. I can feel it through the energy here in the throat chakra. So we're going to ask to cleanse, clear, and purify any revulsion, nausea, taking some deep breaths. Revoking, renouncing, resounding, rescinding any black magic. Maha ata rata tate ki sateyanai. Any sorcery. Sandaya nori andeaki andeyanai. Decoding with 7741 764 11742. Big breaths. Stay with your breaths. Trust and allow the energy to move, knowing that this has just activated the things that were already needing to be moved from you. The areas where you're not protecting yourself. The areas where you are still allowing things to influence your sovereignty. Mikai etai rata aki. Ishka andai e aki. Every single influence, every single infiltration, every single trigger is a gift for you to find where your energy is low, where your connection to spirit, to source, is vulnerable. Mishka ata rata aki ti 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 shitekeria tukuyana. So we're cleansing, clearing, and purifying the collective wound that's sitting here. The collective wound being that of the agenda will always find me. Mi tarai te kiana, cleansing, clearing, and purifying that. The collective belief that I will never be safe in this human reality. Mi shatai raki sate ti tae kiana. Stay with your breath, then I don't have to transmute and alchemize as much. It's kinder for me. Good job. And going down into the sacral, and we're cleansing, clearing, and purifying parasitic energies, infestations. We are releasing the cords, connections, and wormholes to the underworld energies. Calling back all your soul fragments, all of your soul parts, cleansed, cleared, and purified. Whenever you call back your soul energy, making sure it's called back, cleansed, cleared, and purified. You don't want to call back your bits that are covered in satanic imprinting. Calling it back, allowing it to come into your body, into your field, feeling it rise from the earth. Going into that sacral, and you're looking for anywhere that you may have what would be called a feeding tube. Now, a feeding tube is a tube that you are either feeding out to something or you are being fed. Now, sometimes they feel like big circles in your body that are drawing energy out or pumping energy in. Sometimes they can be pumping in poison. Sometimes you can be receiving chi from someone else. Now, this is not helpful. If you're feeding your chi, you're feeding your power to someone else, you are losing that ability to hold that within your body. This will cause fatigue, this will cause pain, this will cause infection, this will cause toxicity, this will cause a need for extra physical food as a form of chi. Miaria toria kiariandianaya kiaria shutukoria kiariandianaya setekeria shutukoriandia takariandianaya kiana. I haven't done a birthday shout out before, but why not? Uncle Nathan Yahoo. Is that right? Happy birthday. Mishkari anaya kiande anaya toriana. All right. And we are going to flushing through any wounds in your body, flushing through, feeling the waters, the purifying waters, flush through any holes, tethers, cuts, and tears in your physical body. Hey, beautiful. Good job. Good job, guys. All right. There is still some distortion in the abdomen and in the sacral chakra. So your abdomen, I want you to feel into it. I want you to hold it. I want you to breathe into it. And I want you to acknowledge that your physical body is holding an aspect of disempowerment, and that this disempowerment is causing you to leak your energy. Asking yourself, what is it that you feel disempowered about? And where are you leaking or allowing your energy to be leaked through this narrative? Beautiful. And we are asking to call back your empowerment, call back your energy. And we're letting go of any justifications, attachments, any expectations over self, and anything within the psyche that would allow for your sacral chakra to continue to leak energy by calling yourself into I am powerful. I am source energy. I am the chi of creation. I am life itself. I am the power of creating in this reality. I am humanly full of vitality. I am a being of sexual energy. I am the creator of my own destiny. I am in flow with source. I am generating my eternal life force. Miskare tere shite kirea tu koriande dishkare ati kare u korea kiande anaya kuyana. We're now going to ask to recalibrate your DNA, asking your DNA strands now to move to their highest frequency and octave, asking for those of the dormant DNA to come online, and for those strands to weave, dance, and revel in a new connection. Hey, good job. And we are now asking for all chakras to balance in the front and the back, all meridians, all activation points, and all neurology, synergizing, harmonizing, and balancing through your mind, body, and soul components and through your Holy Trinity, and asking now for instant integration. Now, that is anchoring into the above and the below, taking 3 deep breaths now into your heart, breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. It is done, it is done, it is already done. Now, and that clearing is a short clearing to assist you with what has become present in the agendas and the manipulation, infiltration, distractions that can take place, always guiding you back to safely remembering yourself a little deeper. There is no right, there is no wrong, there just is further fine-tuning. So in that, I am complete. I have to do some humaning. I love you, beautiful brothers and sisters. If you enjoyed this transmission and you know someone that needs to hear this message, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already joined my mailing list, I know I've been saying that Light Source, New Earth News, is coming soon. There has been some evolvements, some changes. It is some solidifying aspects, we'll just say based on choice, that is challenging the information to get out. But I am slowly and strongly working on this so that it is there. So please, if New Earth News is important to you, and it is the easiest way that I can get every transmission out to you, and there is a community that will be available for all that are ready to lead and shift, and for those that are choosing different paradigms but still want to be supported, that is also there for you too, because we are one family. We are one. We are all. I love you. God bless.